This is going to be my unprofessional review or look at the switching over from the Orbi. This is the Orbi. Hold on one moment. Um, the Orbi 960 quad band mesh router system. Now I purchased, this is the router and I have 3 other satellites. The reasons that I purchased that many I live in an apartment building in the city, and my biggest problem is that wall behind this router is, this building was built in the 1920s, and the way that I guess that they did walls back then, instead of using sheetrock, basically this wall has a wood frame, then a metal mesh. They stapled a metal mesh across the frame of the wood, and then they plastered the wall on instead of sheetrock. I don't know nothing about construction, so maybe sheetrock didn't exist back then. So they basically made the wall as they were making the building. The issue I have is that the wall, so this goes for this side and the other side of this wall. So I have a sheet of metal on both sides, which causes a lot of Wi-Fi interference room to room. So this apartment, I have to just completely flood it with as much Wi-Fi devices as I can. So what I'm doing is I'm upgrading from this to the eero 7, and pretty much the biggest reason I'm upgrading it is because with the Orbi system, which I love the Orbi system, never had an issue. The thing I don't like is that I cannot use this universally. So this is the router and it stays the router always. The satellites always stay the satellites. Whereas with the eero 7, the system I purchased, I could use any of these as the router. There is no one dedicated to one actual role, which I really like. I like that ease. And and also I like that it comes with two 2.5 gigahertz connections and two 10 gigs. So I'm going to be using as a backhaul the this physically connected with a Cat 6E cable, I believe, to each other. So I'm going to really strengthen the backhaul because of my issue with the walls. Also, I like that all of them come with two 10 gigs, whereas the Orbi one, the one I have now, only has one 10 gig, which is for the ISP, and one 2.5 gigs, and the rest are regular gig ports. So I like that option. I'm looking to upgrade to 2.5 gigahertz. I have one computer that can take advantage of that right now. That's my main computer for uploading, and I'm hoping that improves overall performance. And I have a 1 gig ISP, which I'm looking, it's Verizon Files, but I'm looking to upgrade that to 2 gigs. They're offering 2 gigs. And I want to get the latest and greatest because I will be getting upgraded devices that will support Wi-Fi 7 in the near future. So I'm looking to really take advantage of as much speed as I can get. I'm a regular guy, just buys things and tries them out, and I'm hoping that this will increase my speed and it'll be a lot faster to upload videos. I do upload large amount of videos. So let's start with my Apple TV speed test. So this is physically directly connected to my physically connected to a switch that's connected directly to the main unit, which is underneath the TV. I'm going to be doing this at different locations. This is the before, then I'm going to do the after. This is in my living room, right on my iPad, next to the main unit. I'm going to be doing tests all around the apartment. This has Wi-Fi 5. So to be as accurate as I could be, I'm disconnecting when I'm going from room to room. Uh, this is, I'm disconnecting the Wi-Fi and reconnecting to another location that the room is in. I'm probably where the satellite is, I should say, or where, I'm sorry, where another part of the home is. So I'm totally opposite side, probably about 20 feet away from the main unit, just to see the Wi-Fi range. So I'm on the other side of the where the main unit is, which is in the center of my apartment, which is in the living room. And I'm in the family room right now. I am now in the kitchen. Let me see how well the signal reaches here. I'm probably around 20 plus feet away. Um, so just a little bit lower, but 450, 140. I'm also doing tests just outside my apartment building to see if I can still pick up the signal from outside my apartment building. The only thing I see suffering the most as I go around the apartment is the upload speed. So I'm now on the other side of my kitchen, about 25 feet away. And let's see what speeds we get here. Oh, wow, even better over here for some reason. Oh, I'm sorry, the satellite is in this room. One of the extenders is in this room. It's right behind me. So this is why we're getting these speeds. And it's connected through a wired backhaul. I am now in the master bedroom. There's a satellite here as well. This is a wireless backhaul. And again, this is a wireless backhaul, and this is, I disconnected and connected to make sure I'm connecting to that satellite. What I see being affected the most is the upload speed, as I can witness quickly. That's what's changing the most from being right in front of the main unit. Master bedroom. I am now in my son's room, disconnected from the Wi-Fi, reconnected to make sure that I get whatever satellite he's connecting to or whatever main unit. His room is directly on the other side of the main unit, the wall I was pointing to earlier. So we have a pretty thick wall between us. So I'm now all the way at one corner of the apartment. So now I'm at my front door. I'm now at my back door. So now I'm outside. I'm about 20 feet away from my apartment building. I am on the 3rd floor. It looks like I'm getting pretty good signal. 20 feet away. This is the grass area. I'm right at the edge of the grass. This is one side of my apartment building. Now I'm going to go to the other side, which is about the same amount of distance, about 20 feet. Anything past 30 something feet, I don't get anything. So I'm actually right at the sweet spot where the actual signal comes up for me to connect. Another 5 feet and I can't even get the signal to come up. Now I'm on the other side of the apartment building. I'm gonna try it out. Again, I'm about 20 feet away. Anything further, it's hit or miss. Sometimes I connect, sometimes I don't. It's sporadic. The other problem I have is that I live in a complex that has about 40 to 50 buildings, and there's a lot of Wi-Fi. We have 8 stories. Everybody's got Wi-Fi, so the Wi-Fi signals are always battling each other. So that's another reason for the upgrade for me, is to reduce the latency of that. And this is a little bit better than the other side. So I'm doing a quick speed test on my wired connection. This is a Alienware laptop computer, gaming computer, that's connected directly to the 2.5 gig port on the back of the Orbi. And wow, those are good numbers. Like I said, I have a 1 gig up and down, and that's pretty good. And that's physically connected. I have it on a Cat 6. That is a Cat 6A. I keep wanting to say 6E, but 6A. Cat 6A cabling. I believe the Cat 6A is rated at up to 10 gigs. So I'm getting the full speed on physical connections. Physical wired connection. So I will now be switching out the Orbi. I believe this is the 960, the Orbi 960. The only difference, so the Orbi satellite, 960 satellites, all have the same amount of ports as I have back here, except that the Orbi 960s have one 2.5 gigahertz port, which you can use to either connect back to this router, which I did, and that'll create a backhaul at 2.5. I'm looking to upgrade to a 10 gig backhaul to make the physical connections between this main unit and the other units, the satellite units, or the additional eeros I have with 10 gig. And I have Cat 6A cabling, which should suffice in getting up to that 10 gig. And the only problem I have is, or actually one good thing is that all the Orbi 960 satellites have 4 ports, so it's identical to what's back here, except this one. This one has 5 ports, so I have 1 port less, and I will be adding a switch, a 2.5 gigahertz switch to the setup, so that I can make up for the lack of ports in the back of here. I'll put that switch below. The info for that switch, everything will be where I got this, and the price I paid and everything is below. Okay, let's do the swapping out. See if we see a difference. So I swapped everything out. I put all the eero 7s where their Orbeez used to be. And again, the only difference, I believe, between the two units are going to be, this is the general. I'm an unprofessional reviewer, just a regular guy who buys things and tries them out. That's it. So I'm an unprofessional reviewer. This is real world. I set it up to see how easy and how much better performance I'm going to get and what I see when I'm using my products. So this is an Orbi with a quad core. I believe it's one 2.4 gigahertz, two 5 gigahertz, and one 6 gigahertz Wi-Fi signal. This is the eero 7. I believe it has so I'm trying, since it's new to me, I'm trying to get an idea. It's a tri-band, and the signals that come off of this is Wi-Fi 2.4, 5 gigahertz, and 7. And I guess 7 incorporates 6E as well. So it's a combination, I believe, both signals being the same with the eero Max 7. So that, and the difference between the ports is this one, the router is the only one with a 10 gig port. It has one 2.5 gig port, and then the rest are gig ports. The satellites of the Orbeez have one 2.5 gigs and three 1 gig ports. None of them have another 10 gig port. They are this is the Orbi 9. The Orbi 960. This is the eero 7 Max. So again, I swapped them out. I'm going to try the speed test at the same locations that I did when this was up. So I tried different locations, different rooms, and I'll tell you my results at the same locations where I did the testing earlier on my current setup with my Orbi. Now I'm just looking to future-proof. When it comes to the wired connection, they're both working just fine. This has two 2.5 gigahertz and two 10 gigahertz. I have the satellite units, or the additional 2 units, connected through the 10 gig ports with Cat 6 A cables, Cat 6A cables, I believe, and that are rated for 10 gigs. And everything works fine wired. Now I'm testing the wireless. So my first test I did was on my Apple TV earlier, so I'll start with that. On the, this is physically connected to the eero 7 Max. Physical connection, not an issue at all. All right, about the same. Actually, in the last one, I got better upload and just a little bit lower download. So with the Orbi, I got 823 and 939. So it's kind of, I'm gonna say that they kind of cancel each other out. So it's the same physical connection. Again, I disconnected and connected to make sure I connect to the closest unit. This is in my living room. 603,259. Again, I did much better with the Orbi on upload the last time. The download is better from the last time from the Orbi, but on the Orbi on upload I got 531, and I reset everything. I restarted my modem or ONT or whatever it's called. I have fiber coming in to make sure everything starts anew. So I rebooted everything before hooking everything up. Okay, let's go to the next room. So I'm next door and in the family room next to the living room, about 25 feet away from the main unit. About 25 feet from the main unit and the additional satellite unit. It's to my left. The main unit is behind me. It's 476 and 207. Yeah, I got better numbers the last time with the Orbi. 581 with the Orbi and 235. I'm just getting 476 and 207. That's not good. Okay, let's go to the next room. I'm now in my kitchen. This is with the eero 7 Max. I'm about 15 feet away from the main unit in my kitchen from the living room, maybe 20 feet. That looks good. 600 and 204. Actually did better in the kitchen than I did with my Orbi. With the Orbi, the last time it was 450 and 123. So this is an improvement here. So I'm now in another room where the additional unit is located, or the satellite of the eero 7 Max connected through 10 gigs. And let me see from the last time. Last time I got 683,237. So this is a big improvement. It's an okay improvement. I get. With the Orbi, I got in this room with a satellite from the Orbi and what you could call a satellite for the eero. The last time with the Orbi, I got 683,237. So now I'm getting 704,241. 241. Okay, let's try the next room. I am now in the master bedroom. The last time in the master bedroom, I got 484 and 120. Yeah, that's not good. I didn't have much better numbers earlier, especially with the upload. Looks like the upload's having the biggest issue. So I am in my son's room. The last time with the Orbi, I got 608,179. This has an additional unit which is connected through the back through a 10 gig connection with a Cat 6A cable, rated for 10 gigs. And okay, this one did better. With the Orbi, I had 608,179, so this is much better. Not a lot, but better. So this is my restroom. Again, disconnected and connected. And the satellite unit or the additional unit, which would be my son's room, is on the other side of the restroom wall. And again, remember my walls have mesh, and that causes a lot of interference. So the signal has to be real strong. It's less, the Orbi, I got 643,224. This is what I'm getting with the eero Max. This is at my front door, and the last time at my front door, I'm about 25-30 feet away from the main unit. Let me see, the last time I got 501,305. Again, the upload is suffering. I don't know why. Again, the last time 501,305. So, slight difference. Better in download, but the upload's suffering here. So now I'm at my back door, and I'm about 15 feet away from one of the satellite or additional units of the eero Max 7. And these are the numbers I'm getting at the back door now. So with the Orbi at the back door, the last time with the Orbi, I got 524,170. Slight improvement. Okay, so now I'm outside on the side of my building. This is the front of my building, I should say. Just outside my window, 3rd floor. I have a connection there. Similar numbers. The last ones were, and the Orbi was 7129. This is 8735. Better numbers, but not that far. Not like hugely big difference, but I'm still getting signal outside my apartment building from the 3rd floor. So now I'm in the back of my building in the grass area again. And the last speeds I was getting with the Orbi out here at the same area, about 20, 25, maybe even 30 feet away. With the Orbi, I got 138.38. You know, it's so similar, all the speeds, to the point where they kind of cancel each other out, but that's mainly my situation and my fault. So I'm finishing up the video here. I have this here just for display reasons. This is my Orbi 960, and I gotta tell you, I was underwhelmed with the eero 7 Max in regards to performance. I think performance-wise, both of these did really well. Pretty much the kind of upgrading to this did nothing for me in my situation. I'll explain my situation. One of the things I did like about the eero, one of the things I really like about the eero is the way that they set up their mesh systems. You can buy a 3-pack, and any of them could be the main unit, and then you can make the other ones the satellites or the extenders. That's a great option for the simple fact that if, let's say, I have this set up as my main unit, as the main router, and it goes out, I could take my satellite and switch roles, and I can send this to get fixed or replace it or have it, you know, or buy another one, and not really be down for the day, for the night or for the day. With this, if the router goes down, I'm done. I don't have, unless I have another router to replace it, I can't use the Orbi 960 satellite as a router. So that's the difference. When I buy the Orbi system, it comes, each single device has its role. So I can't interchange the router role with other Orbi 960 satellites. I like that about the eero, that each device could be used on whatever way you want to use it. So that's one of the reasons why I was leaning more towards the eero. But after doing the test and everything, and I just find that it was a waste of money for myself, for my specific situation. And my specific situation is I don't have any Wi-Fi 7 devices. I don't even have any Wi-Fi 6E devices. And I have one laptop that supports 2.5 gigahertz connection. And that really doesn't matter because my internet is just 1 gig up, 1 gig down. So reasons to upgrade, I think, is if you have, let's say, a 5 gig or 10 gig ISP, because the eero has the 5 and 10, the 2.5 and the 10 gig ports, that's probably, a good reason to upgrade to the eero because of that 10 gig port. The Orbi 960 doesn't have it. The newest one, I think it's the 970, does. Matter of fact, I take that back. I'm sorry. It does have one 10 gig port, one 10 gig port, and one 2.5 gig. Sorry about that. But this has two, which means if you have a 10 gig, let's say you have a 10 gig up and down and you have a 10 gig NIC or a 10 gig eero 7 device, it could probably take advantage of that 10 gig speed. So that's one reason to upgrade. I mean, the 960 will support it, but the other ports won't. And I guess 6E might come close to Wi-Fi 7, but I don't have any Wi-Fi 7 devices. I understand only Google has a Wi-Fi 7 device. If you have a bunch of devices that support 2.5 gigs and you have a 5 gig or 10 gig ISP, that might be another reason to switch to the eero. But since my situation is that I have 1 gig up and down, I have no Wi-Fi 7 devices. I have one device that supports 2.5 gig network, and the way I have my Orbi set up is that I had this 2.5 gig connection going to a 2.5 gig switch, which was supporting that one device and future devices that I get. But I like the 210 gig and the 2.5 gigs because you can make those backhaul connections. Pretty much, if I take up this 2.5 gig, I can only support one backhaul at 2.5, and then the next one would have to be at 1 gig because it only has one 2.5 gigs. So that's another thing. You can get a direct connection to, you can create your own backhaul at 10 gig or 5 gig or 2.5 gig with the eero. So that's another good thing if you're looking to upgrade for that reason. The Wi-Fi distance, none. It was just not enough. The Orbi and the eero, the Orbi covers 2,500 square feet. The eero covers from, the eero also covers 2,500 square feet. Also, one of the things I noticed, I do upload a lot of 4K footage on my other channel. That's drive-through, walkthrough, which I do of filming, recording my driving around in different areas. And I record that at 5K and I upload it, YouTube takes it at 4K. And I'm limited depending on the day, and I guess depending on how busy it is with the YouTube servers. I've gotten max maybe 60 megabytes a second upload. So I'm not even taking advantage of my full 1 gig. And I think servers in general, when it comes to upload, because that's what I want the most, for the upload to work really well. The servers you're uploading to are going to limit your upload speed depending on how busy the servers are. So, that doesn't make a big difference, because I have 1 gig and I don't take advantage of the full 1 gig upload. Download, yes. Upload, no. So I guess that's it. I was trying to make this as short as possible, but it ran a little bit long. It was interesting, what I found out about the devices. So I would say, my own opinion, the upgrade was not worth it for me. It just didn't enhance anything, didn't improve anything, because I just don't have the devices that would take advantage of the Wi-Fi 7. So it is future-proof, but I guess it's too far in the future for me. 6E does a great job. I get a full 1 gig 6E device. I've had 6E devices here, and I've tried the Wi-Fi, and I get the full 1 gig up and down through Wi-Fi. And that's, pretty much, I'm maxed out at that because of my ISP. I don't have the option like I've seen online, people having 5 and 10 gig ISP. I can't wait till it comes here, and I want to try it out. But for now, and also another thing is I like upload. I use it more than I use my download. My other family members do use the download more than I use the upload. But the upload, again, is limited by what you're uploading to. So you may not even if you have a 5 gig ISP, you may not get the full 5 gig upload to a server. It may slow you down because how busy it is. That has been my unprofessional experience with uploading things. All right, so I'm gonna finish the video here. Mixed results for myself. I'm kind of like, it kind of like leveled itself out. Like I said, didn't make any, at this point, difference in my network. My network was just as good as before with the Orbi than it is now with the eero Max 7. Again, I need to get some 2.5 gig or 10 gig devices or ISP, I guess, to see the difference. But in my situation, didn't do anything. It didn't do nothing. It just canceled out. All tests I did just kind of canceled itself out. One did better on one area, but not by much. And the other one did better in another area, but not by much. All right, I hope this video helps. I hope you liked it. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Bye now.